Okay, so is anyone else here really excited for Nintendo's 2025 and beyond, or is it just me? The possible games that I would love to see is a new Star Fox game, possibly a good look at the next Legend of Zelda built for the Nintendo Switch 2 and where the series will go next. I also would love for Nintendo to make a new Paper Mario game. We haven't had a new one in a very long time. And if the stuff found in the Nintendo Switch 2 firmware is any sign on what's on the horizon, we do have some pretty big surprises for the Nintendo Switch Online service. Which, by the way, what new Nintendo Switch games do you want to see in Nintendo 2025 and beyond? Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the Robotron Show, where we cover the latest news, leaks, and rumors from Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. If you want to be kept up on the latest gaming news, make sure you click that red subscribe button below and have that notification bell on. And if you're interested, I have a Patreon, which link to that will be in the pinned comment along with my Twitter account. In this video, we are going to talk about some new Nintendo Switch news and some new information that has popped up that could potentially point towards Nintendo DS or Nintendo 3DS on the Nintendo Switch 2. Which, if Nintendo does do something with the DS and 3DS, I think the next Nintendo Direct, the big June Nintendo Direct that Nintendo always does, could hold some pretty big surprises for us. I mean, maybe. We did just get GameCube games announced for the Nintendo Switch Online service, so there might be some time to wait on that. I have a feeling the next Nintendo Direct is gonna be a pretty big one, especially since games like Metroid Prime 4 and Mario Kart and other games are already revealed for the Nintendo Switch 2. It really does make you wonder what Nintendo has up their sleeve. If you guys end up enjoying this video, leave a like, it helps the video out a lot, and if you want to follow me on Twitter and help us pass our goal of 1,000 followers, you can follow us at RoboRob93. Without further delay, let's continue to the video. So this is actually pretty insane. When you really think about it, we are just under 1 month away from the Nintendo Switch 2 release. Can you guys believe that? A more powerful Nintendo Switch will be releasing soon, and with more power means we're going to be getting a lot more cool things revealed for the Nintendo Switch, like new IPs, new games, and of course new things added to the Nintendo Switch Online service, which may or may not be happening according to some new hints found in the Nintendo Switch firmware, which could be a multitude of things. I mean, it could be Nintendo DS and 3DS games added to the Nintendo Switch Online service. It would be really cool to see maybe some classic Pokemon games added, or maybe Spectroids. I don't know if anyone even remembers that game. Or even games like Metroid Prime Hunters. That would be really cool. I've always wanted that to be added to the Nintendo Switch Online service. And those aren't the only things this could be for. It could be for a specific service that hasn't been revealed, or maybe a specific game for the Switch 2 that hasn't been revealed. Either way, it's pretty interesting, and here are the details. Data mining and studies of the Switch firmware 20 are happening. An interesting instruction found in HID services caught my eye. Enable NX touchscreen emulation for touch enter, or enable touchscreen emulation for touches. Specific. Now, on another account, Nash Weedle, who covers different leaks and rumors about the Nintendo Switch, this is what his tweet said. It may have to do with some features in the patent I published in this thread I posted last year. So what exactly does this thread say? Well, let's take a look at it and see what he has to say about it. Leak Express. Nintendo is patenting ways to play with the touchscreen. If you turn off the analog controller, touchscreens will automatically appear on the screen. System to add physical buttons to the touchscreen as already exists on mobile phones. With the leaked 8-inch display, this control method would be an interesting addition. Now, one thing specifically about that part, if you guys didn't know, the Nintendo Switch 2 screen is 7.9 inches. So far, this patent and stuff that's found within the Switch's firmware is lining up with what he posted during this thread a year ago. Continuing on to the next part, this also does match up with what we're seeing in the Nintendo Switch 2. They say the choice of the LCD display instead of OLED could also be influenced by the control method, as there would be more fixed elements when using touch buttons. So that is another thing that does line up with the Nintendo Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 does use an LCD display, although I'm sure later on they're gonna end up doing an OLED anyways. With that being said, let's move on to the 3 out of 3 part of this thread. The various patents also explain how various aspects of the display size can be adjusted to keep the touch control out of the game area and not obscure it with the fingers. Now, of course, when you talk about touchscreen stuff related to the Nintendo Switch 2, a lot of people do think of the 3DS and Nintendo DS, and this isn't the first time Nintendo has done patents that could potentially point towards this. In fact, there was something that popped up this year. This article is from March 5th, 2025, and it's from WCCF Tech. The title reads, Nintendo Switch 2 could bring back a dual screen experience, judging from new accessory patent. And this is what WCCF Tech had to say. As reported by GameRant, Nintendo recently patented a sort of connection structure that can be rotated around a magnetic connection. The patent explicitly mentions a smartphone holder as one of the accessories that could be compatible with its design, suggesting that the company is at least considering bringing back dual screen experience in some form. That was very recently. That was in 2025. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be 3DS and DS games coming. This could be for something else. The part about the physical buttons is pretty interesting. This could maybe be another way to play Nintendo Switch Online games, kind of like how on mobile games they do have physical buttons on the screen. We have seen some mobile games on the Nintendo Switch before, so maybe it's for some of those games. Whichever path Nintendo ends up taking, it will be interesting to see how they implement it in some of these games. If I'm being honest, I would be disappointed if it's just something for mobile games. I hope they do something really interesting with it, especially if it is for a second screen and they do implement 3DS and DS games. Now, if you guys remember, there is a port on the top of the Nintendo Switch 2, and this is going to add even more fuel to the fire of the 3DS and DS side of things. If you guys didn't know this, there is a port on the top of the Nintendo Switch 2, and some people were speculating that maybe that's where the second screen is going to go. But on the flip side of that, some Nintendo fans were wondering if you could even use that port, or is it just another way to charge your Nintendo Switch 2? Well, if you guys didn't see this bit of news, it kind of went under the rug. It seems that Ori is making a camera for the Nintendo Switch handheld mode. This camera is not too good in my personal opinion. Nintendo's camera is 1080p according to the post on the Reddit Nintendo Switch. This camera is only going to be 40p, but that's not what we're focusing on right now. The part we're focusing on is the fact that this can be used for other devices, and it makes you wonder, is Nintendo going to use this second screen, and is this touchscreen stuff that they're finding in the firmware have to do with Nintendo and 3DS? Putting two and two together, one would assume so, but I guess we'll wait and see. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. The stuff that they found in the firmware, the fact that the top of the Nintendo Switch 2 port can be used for stuff, and which either side you fall on. Make sure you attach what Nintendo 3DS and DS game would you like to see added on to the Nintendo Switch Online service if it ever does happen. With that being said, like I said before when I covered the Nintendo Switch 2 GameCube info, when it was revealed that more information was coming out, I was going to update you guys on any news that came out on the GameCube controller side of things. This is what Nintendo Wire had to say on the news posted on the new information on that. In a post on Nintendo Today app featuring a 3D view of the upcoming wireless GameCube controller, a small excerpt revealed when the controller would be available for order. For those who were invited to the pre-order for the Nintendo Switch 2 via Nintendo themselves, the controller will be available starting May 8th, then beginning on May 13th. It will be available for purchase for all Nintendo Switch Online subscribers along with other controllers offered. It's important to note the GameCube controller is only compatible with the Nintendo Switch 2, so keep that in mind when considering ordering it. So keep in mind you do need a Nintendo Switch Online service, and you do need to be invited via that Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order invitation. If there's any more news on that, I will keep you guys updated, so make sure you guys are subscribed for that. Or let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. And if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.